Hi guys, Shelly here, Sew Shelly Quilts. So I'm going to embroider on some sun hats today. And I've done this before, but I thought I'd show you how. These are just hats that have been purchased. I've put a band around them. They're just regular sun hats. And so I've put embroidery on them. Here's one I like to wear. This one has got wash away stabilizer that you can still see. This one, the wash away stabilizer I must have taken off, washed off. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to do a new hat today, my new sun hat. And I'm only going to do 2 at a time. This flower and this flower, even though I've got 4 for placement. And I'm going to do 2 at a time, and then I'll do 2 at a time. I may go all the way around the brim on this one, but I printed my template with 4 so that I could see where the next ones fit against those that I'm going to stitch. So in my hoop, I've got just the oval hoop, and I've got sticky stabilizer. Sticky. It's that stuff that has paper on it, and then you peel the paper away. So I'm just going to plop the hat down and stick it on my sticky stabilizer. So there it is. That's good enough for me. Okay. Now I'm going to go over and place it on the machine. Okay, so I have my hoop with the sticky stabilizer on it at the machine. And I put the hat on it with the template. And I made some adjustments using the pinpoint placement. I chose the butterfly. I touched the top point, and the design went to that point, and I checked it on the machine. And so now and then I hit set. Then I found the bottom point and I hit set, and now I like the way it's going to stitch. I'm going to take the template off, and it will sew the top 2 flowers, which are an applique. So I'm going to say that I'm ready to sew. I will just push the stitch button, and the first thing it's going to do is an outline of where I place that fabric, and I can tell it's going to start at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my fabric and put it on there. So here's a piece of dark blue. I'm going to use white thread. I'm just going to lay that fabric under there and let it stitch. Now I'll trim that away. For trimming away applique, I always start with the duckbill scissors and get the large pieces of fabric, and then I come back with these little clippers to get it as clean as possible. Okay, so I'm back at the machine and ready for the second color. So this is going to be the little stem stitch outline. You can tell that even though I'm on the brim of a hat, now it's just regular machine embroidery. I'm just going to go through the steps. And that's how easy this is going to be. It's actually attached to the stabilizer now, so there's no risk. I was careful to pull everything out from underneath the hat. And this is what we're just going to do. A little lightweight. So I'll just keep stitching and come back and show you when I place the next flowers after this. Okay, so I just did the first 2 flowers. on the hat. So that's why I printed 4 on my template, because I've now lined my template up over those, so I'll know where the next 2 go. These are the 2 I'm about to stitch. These are the 2 that were already stitched. See, they're underneath there. I've put it on the sticky stabilizer, the second hooping. I've got the sticky underneath, and I just laid the hat on it, and I'm going to the machine. Okay, so I'm at the machine, and once again, I've been really careful to make sure that the hat is all out of the way, that the only thing where I'm going to be stitching is the brim. And I'm going to go back into my pinpoint placement and release the previous points and add new ones. So there's the top of the flower, and I'm going to make sure that my needle down here is at about the top of the flower. I want to see the side of the flower. I think I'll scoot it over a little bit towards the hat, and I'm going to set that. And then I'm going to come down and touch the bottom of the flower and see where that is, and that needs to be moved over. So that it's turned a bit. So I have my point on the outside of the flower, so I want to get down here to the outside of the flower, or where I want that to hit. And let's check the inside and the top and the bottom and the outside again. That looks good. I'm going to hit set. So now I'll take the paper off and I'm ready to stitch it again. Okay, so I finished stitching the second one, and in fact have now put in, I'm going to do the third, and that way it's going to go around the front half. I just cut away my applique, and I'll go put it on the machine again. I positioned the third one exactly like I had the second that I just showed you. And so we'll get it on here, and I'll show you when we finish the entire design. Okay, so here's the finished hat. I don't know why it looks distorted in this picture, but it does. But it turned out adorable. I'm going to make a little scarf in the next video. I went ahead and rinsed the back and got most of that wash away stabilizer off. And then I set it on a big jar so that when it dries, it's still a little damp. So that when it dries, it's keeping its shape. There's not a lot of shape to it, but I don't want it to get totally misshapen. So that's that. That's how you embroider easily on a straw hat for summer. I hope you enjoy that. This is Shelley with Sew Shelley Quilts.